What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So here I am, a couple mechanical watches. We have this beautiful one I pulled out of one of the lots earlier. I still have no idea as to who made it exactly, but the movement inside is humming along quite nicely. And if I remember correctly, yeah, you can see just the gloriousness of that sheer precision. It's a Lowy Watch Co. 17 jewels. Kind of a unique design as well. Your bridges are usually covering all the guts and such. But today, on a classic Timex mechanical. So one of the things that I wanted to cover today is crystals, right? So I do have a large number of crystals that we can replace things with. Now, unfortunately, these acrylic ones with the domes are harder to find in bulk. Now, you can absolutely buy them. They're just harder to find. So what I typically like to do is keep the original crystal. And in doing that, I like to polish it up. So I grabbed some of these little polishing sticks. I believe they're emery boards or something, but these, I'm told, at least I purchased them as polishing sticks, and they seem to work pretty well. So I believe this is the higher grit or the lower grit, and these are the higher grits. And typically all I would do is grab the watch, and I don't know if you can see the sheer volume of scratches and scuffs, but it kind of makes it look kind of hazy, which is obviously not ideal if you're trying to buy a watch. So you got a couple options. Obviously replace it, or you can polish it. And what that does is it really roughs up the outside. You can really kind of see it there. I only did about half, so just these parts right here that are really rough. And you basically are trying to get rid of the big scratches. You can kind of see there's one right there. Yeah, you just give this a good 1-2. Now, one thing that I have always tried to keep or be mindful of is that there might be grains in the acrylic, like it was poured a certain way. I'm not exactly certain, but just to make sure that you basically hit it from all different angles. And you can see the acrylic itself is coming off right here on the pad. But once you get a nice uniform, then maybe get your ball to pull some of it off, or compressed air to like kind of get it off a bit. You get a nice uniform polish across the whole thing. Then you can flip to the higher grit. Like this doesn't even feel like there's any grit on it, which is kind of the point. It's a high polishing, and you can see the difference almost immediately. But the cool thing is this also works on the metal, so you could even hit the sides and it'll polish that up as well. But with these domed crystals, you're gonna wanna hit the dome as well, because I don't know if you can see that, but right on the edges kind of still look hazy. So just give it a full on treatment across the board. And now you have a much higher quality product compared to what it was before. the final step, you may or may not be familiar with this stuff, polywatch. You can actually get this in bulk as well. I can't recall exactly what it's called, but it's like jewelry polish. But this stuff is especially formulated for these. And what I'll do is I'll take a little bit, just a little bitlet. They say about this, like the size of a pea, but of course, this is a really tiny watch, so I just put a little schmutz on there, and then take your polishing pad and use it. Just rub it in real good. So typically you would do this for a number of minutes. I think the instructions say 5+. And over time, you can actually see it clear up quite a bit, even if you just go straight into the polywatch. So let's get a little microfiber cloth going and just polish it up. Now, personally, I don't do this on every watch, but this one it's worked quite well on. This is going to be the last phase of the polish. But yeah, you can see it looks just about new. Now the edges are still kind of rough. And the cool thing about polywatch is that it recommends that you can polish it afterwards to buff it in, basically, and it kind of replaces some of that crack. But yeah, that's or scratches that you may or may not have. So on this guy, I'm going to do a similar two-step process with the buffing, but here it is before. Now it does have kind of a crack here, so if I had the correct size, I would definitely replace it. Fortunately, I really do not. And as you can see, you get some edges. You can really see that crack starting to show here right on the edge. Then I'm gonna wipe it off with this thing. That is arguably one of my favorite things, is to be able to see it go from that green, or like kind of almost gross yellow haze, right into, you know, what it, a closer approximation of what it once was. Now there's still some haze on there, but might just be one of those things that really can't do 100%. Even if it's just for parts, so that somebody else can put a nicer crystal on this guy, I think that this little guy probably go for 20, 25 bucks at least. I have to look up the company that makes it, Lowry or whatever. And I'll very much be interested to see Probably throw some comps up if I can find any. But yeah, that's the quick and easy 2-step process to get your watches looking like new. Technically it's a 3rd step with the poly watch, but yeah. But thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz if you're into it. And if not, well, thanks for watching anyway. And if anybody knows anything about this company, please let me know. Have a great day.